There are two things involved. It's either you are a landowner or you know someone who owns a land, or maybe you are not even in any of these categories. Well, my honest desire and prayer is that as soon as possible, you become a landowner. But in Nigeria, there are broadly two categories of right of occupancy that you can have over a particular land. If your land is in the rural area, what you usually have is a customary right of occupancy issued to you by the local government chairman. If your land is in the urban area, what you usually have is a statutory right of occupancy issued to you by the state governor. But make no mistake about it, the fact that the land is in the rural area does not mean that the governor, by virtue of a gazette, cannot designate a land in the rural area as an urban area. So that can also go. So if the land is in the rural area, the governor has been empowered to designate or can designate land in the rural area as urban area and issue statutory right of occupancy. Now, you see that in the provisions of Section 5 and Section 6 of the Land Use Act. But you might also want to ask, how about those who own land prior to the passage of the Land Use Act? What happens to them? Does it mean that they will not be issued or they will not have statutory right of occupancy or customary right of occupancy? Well, let's break it down further. The law, that's the Land Use Act, passed as far back as the 29th day of March 1978, makes provision for those people. It provides in Section 35, 36, and 34, or 34 and 36, that those who own land in urban area prior to the passage of the Land Use Act are deemed to have statutory right of occupancy. Those who own land in rural areas are deemed to have customary right of occupancy. So when next you pick up that document that gives you a right of occupancy over a particular land, you need to check it. It might be a statutory right of occupancy or customary right of occupancy. Remember, whether statutory right of occupancy, C of O, governor's consent, or customary right of occupancy, all these are valid titles that you can have over a land.